So should Mr. X or the famous batch of T-103 Tyrants be in Resident Evil 3 Remake? Because we all remember how much of a constant terror he was during our adventures in the classic Resident Evil 2 and the new RE2 Remake, as we watch him show off his many aspects, reminding us why he's one of the most iconic tyrants in the Resident Evil universe. Anyways, what is up you guys, this is DeVuH, and in this video we'll discuss if Mr. X or the batch of T-103 Tyrants should make an appearance in a potential Resident Evil 3 remake, and we'll discuss what kind of impact and storyline changes could happen if he was implemented in this game. So stay tuned to the end of the video, and feel free to smash that like and subscribe button for more Resident Evil 3 remake discussions in the future. Alright, so let's start off with the premise of the possibility of having Mr. X or the batch of T-103 Tyrants having a larger role in RE3, because if you guys didn't know, the events of Resident Evil 3 happens a day before and a day after Resident Evil 2, and it was during this time that Umbrella sent the batch of T-103 Tyrants via helicopter to Raccoon City, with one being released at the RPD station, with that specific tyrant being known as Mr. X. But that leaves us with a question of what happens to the other T-103 Tyrants that the helicopter was carrying, because we can see here there was at least 5 more available Tyrants on hold. But luckily for us, this question was answered by the ending portion of Resident Evil 3, because as we take a look here, we can spot all the T-103 Tyrants that just did battle with some of the mercenaries, being in all kinds of different positions, indicating that there was an epic battle that happened in the background. We also even see a fully mutated dead Super Tyrant as well, which was consumed by a damaged nemesis, helping it transform into its final form. Also, with the other Resident Evil auxiliary games, we knew that the many Mr. X's of the world were roaming around Raccoon City, with each tyrant having a specific mission to accomplish, whether they need to retrieve any viral strains, which in Resident Evil 2's case, the G virus, and how Mr. X was tasked to acquire it, regardless of the casualties that ensues.
Here, this is what you're looking for, right? Fine, then go get it! Sucker.
So with all the evidence that we know so far, Mr. X or the batch of T-103 Tyrants did play a pivotal role during the events of Resident Evil 3. But the thing is that it wasn't shown to us in-game, because wouldn't it have been amazing to see an epic clash of all these Tyrants against some of the soldiers or mercenaries. So maybe in Resident Evil 3 Remake, they can add this one aspect to the lore, and for all we know, we may even fight some of these Tyrants while dealing with Nemesis, because it wouldn't be out of reach to think that we can have Mr. X chasing after Valentine, while Nemesis doing the exact same thing as well, where we may see a possible tandem of both Tyrants in an epic boss battle, with our only backup would either be Carlos or Brad, or maybe we can see a different conclusion and see a Nemesis versus Mr. X battle instead. And I got this idea from the Resident Evil Chinese manhwa, where we see Nemesis fight off the many T-103 Tyrants, so this could provide an opportunity to level out the battlefield, because we all know how fast and powerful Nemesis was. Also, if they do decide to implement Mr. X in a Resident Evil 3 remake, I do hope that we get to see him fully mutated, like we saw from the classic RE2. Because I know there were some concerns from some RE fans that they didn't like the half mutations that we saw in RE2 Remake, so making Mr. X mutate into his Super Tyrant transformation and being able to do all of his crazy moves that we saw from Dark Star Chronicles would push RE3 Remake over the top, not only having us players go up against one of the most terrifying Tyrants in Resident Evil franchise, but also providing us with extra lore and replay value. Anyways, do you guys agree that Mr. X or the batch of T-103 Tyrants should be in Resident Evil 3 Remake, or should they focus solely on Nemesis and keep him as a primary tyrant of the game? So please let me know in the comment section down below. And if there was anything that I missed or something that would be cool that can be added in the game, please feel free to share that as well. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching my Resident Evil 3 Remake video, and as always, you guys have a great rest of your day, and this is DeVuH signing out.